For many celebrities, being in the spotlight is part of the job. However, some celebrity recluses go to great lengths to avoid it like the plague. It's easy to see why. With paparazzi and smartphone-wielding fans ready to take your picture at any moment, constantly being watched sounds exhausting and paranoia-inducing. Some famous reclusive celebrities just can't handle it. Despite that, quite a few have somehow remained famous while in hiding, putting out more work and striking a healthy balance to their life. From authors to actors, you might be surprised by who these private celebrities are. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 celebrity recluses who stay out of the spotlight. #25. David Letterman. After he retired from The Late Show with David Letterman fell out of the spotlight quickly. He grew a beard and faded into a distant memory for a while. Many wondered what happened to the guy, thinking he maybe got depressed. Of course, he didn't stay out of the spotlight for too long. He recently did a show for Netflix. #24. Cormac McCarthy. He's been writing for decades, but grew to general celebrity status when his book The Road became one of Oprah's recommended books, and his other book, No Country for Old Men, was made into a popular movie starring Josh Brolin. However, after that brief celebrity stint, he went back into hiding and fell off the map once again. 23. Johnny Depp. Despite being a superstar since the 80s, Johnny Depp has taken great lengths to avoid the spotlight. He admits he hates attention and is a recluse. Today, he rarely leaves his house unless it's absolutely necessary. 22. Adele. Though a huge pop star, Adele is rarely seen in the spotlight or doing promotion. She claims as a way to keep control of her former unpopular self, she rejects promotional offers sent to her, like appearing for books, clothes, toys, and apps. She's become well known for being tough to contact, and even though many have called her a recluse, she denies the label, saying she still goes out to do normal life activities. 21. Bill Watterson. The famous illustrator and author of the beloved comic strip Calvin and Hobbes, Bill Watterson garnered vast popularity and awards, winning the prestigious Reuben Award 3 times. Despite having a rabid fan base, in 1995 he decided to retire the comic out of frustration with the constraints of daily deadlines and small panels. Since then, he's refused all commercialization of the characters and has strictly stayed out of the spotlight. 20. Axl Rose. The famous lead singer of Guns N' Roses became reclusive in the mid-90s after his mother passed away. Though legendary in their own right, his band's popularity has waned with the times. While out of the spotlight, he spent years working on a new album called Chinese Democracy. Sadly, after it was finally released and sales faltered, he went back to his reclusive ways. 19. Prince. Though he's no longer with us, Prince will always be in our hearts. While he was still alive, he was notorious for his reclusive behavior. Legendary stories abound about how Prince would randomly come to nightclubs or parties and leave without saying a word. Most of the time, he hid away from the spotlight at his home in Minnesota. 18. Tobey Maguire. After the Spider-Man trilogy wrapped, Tobey Maguire took a back seat to stardom and laid low for a while. He rarely gets cast in movies anymore and focuses more of his time on producing films rather than being in them. 17. Cate Blanchett. A 2-time Academy Award-winning actress, Cate Blanchett best knows how to play the role of the Hollywood star before drifting out of the spotlight, living a quiet life with her husband and 3 boys. 16. Julia Roberts. A Hollywood superstar for decades, somewhere around 2002, she started to slow down her career and focus on her personal life. At that time, she married cameraman Danny Moder in New Mexico, and they had 3 children together. She does about 1 movie a year, and still relatively stays out of the spotlight. 15. Daniel Craig. Though he's the highest paid James Bond actor of all time, Daniel Craig lives a relatively low-key lifestyle in an apartment in New York's East Village. He's seen frequently wearing a hoodie and sneakers, trying not to attract any attention, afraid he'll be spotted by fans that'll want to take a selfie.
14.
Dave Chappelle. After starring in his own massively popular show, Dave Chappelle vanished. Few saw or heard from him for almost 8 years as he retreated to his homes in South Africa and Ohio. Then in 2013, he made a comeback, appearing on several shows and releasing his own stand-up comedy shows on Netflix. Still, he tries to keep a relatively low-key lifestyle.
13.
Eminem. A major rap sensation from 1999 to 2005, Eminem reshaped the music industry with 5 albums that sold over 50 million copies. But in 2006, when his closest friend died, Eminem became very reclusive, closing himself off from the public and barely ever going outdoors. Since then, he's made various appearances, but still keeps things low-key and behind the scenes.
12.
Johnny Carson. Though he passed away in 2005, during and after his long career, Johnny Carson was notorious for his shy and private lifestyle. He could turn on the charm for the cameras and then turn it off just as easily, keeping everyone at a distance. When his show came to an end, he practically disappeared off the face of the earth.
11.
Joaquin Phoenix. Talented and enigmatic actor Joaquin Phoenix, who grew to fame thanks to movies like Gladiator, first became reclusive in 2005 during his time in alcohol rehab. Later, he tried to disassemble his fame in 2010 with the faux documentary I'm Still Here. Since then, he's tried to stay away from the spotlight and avoids award ceremonies at all costs.
10.
Terrence Malick. He's made some of the best movies this century, like The Thin Red Line and The Tree of Life, but avoids the spotlight like the plague. He never gives interviews, photo ops, or any kind of publicity for his movies. Not even when he was awarded the Palme d'Or at Cannes Film Festival did he show up to accept it.
9.
Stanley Kubrick. Visionary and Academy Award-winning director Stanley Kubrick was notorious for keeping Hollywood at arm's length, filming most of his movies in London. He was, at heart, as Jack Nicholson said, a family man, and wanted those he loved around him while he created films without the pomp and spectacle of Hollywood. Overall, he was very successful at keeping a private life away from the spotlight.
8.
Sandra Bullock. Much like Cate Blanchett, Sandra Bullock doesn't have social media accounts, stays away from publicity, and keeps a very private life with her boyfriend and kids. She rarely talks about her family and keeps everything strictly professional when promoting a movie.
7.
Lauryn Hill. She received 5 Grammys for her album The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill in 1998. After, however, she became a recluse and has yet to release a follow-up album. Her record label spent millions on recording sessions for a second album, and she was rumored to sing at Rock the Bells, but neither materialized.
6.
Anita Baker. A popular singing force during the 80s and 90s, Anita Baker kept relatively quiet when it came to interviews and publicity. While other singers would gladly do the publicity circuit, Baker shied away from it and pretty much disappeared from view until just recently.
5.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Notorious for his private and reclusive lifestyle in South Dublin, multiple Academy Award-winning actor Daniel Day-Lewis is very selective of his roles due to the amount of research and time he puts into them. Recently, he retired from acting after his latest film, The Phantom Thread, and lives a quiet life with his family on his 50-acre farm in County Wicklow.
4.
Sia. This singer-songwriter takes the word reclusive to a whole new level. When performing on stage or in a music video, she never shows her face, having her hair covered up entirely. She does it to keep some sanity in her life after she learned the hard way that too much stardom can have serious consequences. After going through a rehab program, she reinvented her career and became a songwriter for other artists before becoming a solo artist once again.
3.
Daft Punk. The synth-pop group Daft Punk does a similar thing to Sia, putting on robotic masks to hide their identities. Despite that, they still put out huge hits and collaborate with some of the biggest stars in the industry.
2.
Thomas Pynchon. You probably haven't heard of Thomas Pynchon, and that's how he likes it. He's actually a very famous writer in the literary world, his most well-known books including The Crying of Lot 49 and Gravity's Rainbow. He's been writing since the 1950s. Though his books have been made into movies, few people have actually seen his face since his youth. He's avoided all media since his first novel, and very little is actually known about him. The only time he appeared in pop culture was when he lent his voice for an episode of The Simpsons. Even then, they drew his character with a paper bag over his face.
1.
J.D. Salinger. A literary giant during his time, J.D. Salinger somehow achieved renowned status with a little body of work and a reclusive lifestyle. His work, The Catcher in the Rye, is infamous for its depiction of a disgruntled youth. First living in New York City, he became a recluse when he moved out to his 90-acre homestead in Cornish, New Hampshire. So, are you more of a public or private person? Let us know in the comments below, or tweet your answers to us at List25.
Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button on the bottom right and the notification bell so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these videos here or just head to our website at list25.com.